Hello, and I hope you all are doing well today. So, the title of this video will be Child Support, or should I say, the child support system is legalized prostitution and slavery. So, here we are looking up the dictionary meaning of the word prostitution.
Prostitution.
It is a noun. The practice or occupation of engaging in sexual activity with someone for payment. So that's pretty cut and dry. An example, they were held captive and forced into prostitution. I think this one is funny here where it says the oldest profession. It's like a synonym. That's funny. All right. Also, another definition of prostitution is, the unworthy or corrupt use of one's talents for the sake of personal or financial gain. We are going to see clearly that the child support system in the United States and most likely throughout the world is legalized prostitution and it is slavery. So right now in this video, we will focus on the prostitution angle. So give me one moment as I pull up the next piece of information. So the reason I'm calling this video Child Support is Legal Prostitution is because we need to see what the definition of the word legal, right? So we're going to get straight to it. This is coming from Merriam-Webster.com. In other words, Webster's Dictionary. Entry 1 of 2. Number 1, of or relating to law, right? Relating to law. She has many legal problems. That's an example. 2A, deriving authority from or founded on law. That's what it should be, right? De jure, legal government. So this is what legal or lawful should be. But now let's get what it usually is. Entry B, having a formal status derived from law, watch this here, often without a basis in actual fact. This is coming from the Webster's Dictionary website. So understand that they put it right out here in front of you. And then the example here says titular, a corporation, is a legal but not a real person. So they're telling you that a corporation is a legal person but not a real person. So child support is legal prostitution because prostitution means using your talents or abilities, right, in a corrupt way for personal or financial gain. So understand that these women know that they can be whores, they can be sluts, they can be unfit mothers as long as they're not so unfit that it's like caught on video or she's on crack or physically abusing the baby and leaving obvious skin tears and bruises. Unless it's something extreme, she can be an unfit mother and still use sex as a way to get pregnant and then pretend that it was all the man's fault as if she did not enjoy having sex too, or as if he raped her, or as if she didn't have a numerous amount of birth control options that the man does not have. Men don't have birth control pills. If men had birth control pills that were safe and effective, the child support system would be damn near shut down. You understand? So let me say that again. If men had male birth control pills that were safe and effective, or at least 95% effective like female birth control pills are, the child support system would be damn near shut down because you wouldn't be able to trap men because they'd have full control over their bodies. You understand? So these whores have sex with men they are not married to. And yes, that is what the Bible defines a whore as. You think to be a whore, you have to be selling your body on the corner. It just means you're having sex with men that are not your husband and you're doing it voluntarily, right? Whether it's for money or not. And you don't even want to marry them. Understand? We know there's some mercy and grace in there, right? But you hoes are doing what you want to do. And you know that you can kill the child or have an abortion and not be called a deadbeat. So after you have 3 or 4 abortions, because these broke men that you were with, you didn't want to get pregnant by, or you wanted to pursue your career first. When you finally decide to be a mother, you can trap the man who has enough money by having the baby and forcing him to have a child that he may or may not want. So, one moment as I pull up the next bit of information. So now we are here looking at a Google search for Maximus Incorporated. All right. Maximus.com. Maximus helping government serve the people. So you see what their own website says. I'm not going to click on it either. I'm just going to read these excerpts. At the federal, state, and local level, Maximus is there to protect health, support families, remember that, strengthen workforces, and streamline government services. You know, that streamlining is a term you hear a lot with the child support process, isn't it? Streamline means they can bypass your rights as an American citizen, bypass due process, and force your ass to pay or lock you up with no due process, even though the Constitution says there shall be no debtor's prison. All right? Maximus deals with child support. They deal with some other BS too, but understand they are some of the major players or crooks behind the child support scam. I also want you to see that Maximus Incorporated is a publicly traded company. Now, they're not the only ones. This is just one example of the players behind this legalized form of prostitution known as the child support system, especially in this United States. So right now, you can get a share of these bastards for $88.10 in US dollars. And their ticker symbol on the New York Stock Exchange is MMS. You understand? So it is what it is. So they are publicly traded. So what does a for-profit publicly traded company have to do with your child? We're going to see in a moment. Somebody asked this question. Is Maximus a publicly traded company? Maximus common stock is traded under the symbol MMS on the New York Stock Exchange. Plain and simple. Now we're going to get a little more information about Maximus. Hold on. And by the way, if there are minor pauses in here when I'm going from one screen to the next, that's just so you don't have to wait while I'm searching for stuff. So I'm literally stopping and restarting the recording or when I'm going from one screen to the next. So here at this AVO, that's some type of lawyer directory or whatever, right? And at this website, avo.com. Let me see if that's where we at. Yep, avvo.com. Someone says Maximus is a scam. I have sent 2 requests and both came back. They could not process them due to the UR denial was not sent. Now, I don't know what the heck this UR crap is and really don't care too much, but it's some other workers' compensation or something else that the government has a role in and is supposed to be helping people. That's the point, right? But even though this is not directly related to child support, it is the same company that makes money from child support. One of the same companies, right? This person says, I have fax confirmation papers that shows how many pages were sent. Let me zoom in on this. Yeah, make it a little easier to read. Is this some sort of scam? Well, we know they're a publicly traded company. Let's keep going. They sent this reply that my IMR review would not take place due to this after the 30-day limit. So now I cannot resubmit. This is 100% scam. I want to go down here and see what some of the lawyers on here have to say. Michael Douglas Goforth, right? Workers' compensation lawyer in Concord, California. This is from February 18, 2015. Most injured applicants, so there you go. This is somebody who's been injured and probably seeking workers' compensation, right? Or something similar. Most injured applicants at one point or another are victimized by the UR/IMR hustle scam. So this is an attorney talking about how Maximus is treating this person, right? Even though it's not child support, it's the same company that's supposed to help families when people are injured, need child support, whatever. When the public awareness reaches a tipping point, the tide will turn. Exactly. So that's why I'm here to tell you that when the public awareness reaches a tipping point about this legalized prostitution and slavery known as the child support system in this United States and possibly the whole world, something is going to change, right? The general public is getting the message that state and federal resources are being drained as a result of insurance companies running amok in the workers' compensation field. So there it is. In the end, the backlash will result in great economic and political loss to the insurance carriers who will have squandered billions of dollars trying to take advantage of and prop up a broken system rather than provide the basic necessary medical care that they owe to the applicants. So I'm showing you people that Maximus Incorporated, that handles a lot of child support scams, they'll scam you for workers' compensation as a whole. But if you think it's okay for men to be treated like shit in child support, maybe I shouldn't feel sorry for you when you get scammed with your workers' compensation, unless you're a man who was on child support that got hurt and needed it. All right? You reap what you sow. Let's keep going. Charles Robert Cleveland Jr., workers' compensation lawyer in Rancho Cucamonga, California, posted February 18, 2015. He says, I agree with all these answers. In addition, the Department of Industrial Relations is complicit in this scam. So I'm showing you that there are lawyers on here talking on these sites that you probably don't pay attention to or don't even know about, telling you that these government bureaucracies, these for-profit corporations and insurance companies are making money off of government funds, which is your tax money, right, to enrich themselves while not doing a damn thing for people who are hurt/injured, people who need child support, or damn sure not helping people who pay it, and anything else they pretend to do for you. The government is the most inefficient company that exists because they can take your money in the form of taxes and pay themselves a profit, whether they do a good job or not, or whether they treat you like shit or not. It says they continue to publish reports that injured workers are happy and that the system is working, just like they do on child support. As stands right now, if you're treated, it should say treating, never mind, let me read it again. If you're treating with a doctor in an insurance hand-picked medical provider network, so I'm thinking that should have said treated, but you get the point, and your doctor properly completes a request for authorization for treatment and sends it to the, see what else they put, adjuster on time, that adjuster will send it to a utilization review. So I'm familiar with what that is. That's what the insurance companies do to come up with every excuse in the book to not pay your insurance claim. I'm just giving it to you plain. Where it will get denied about 90% of the time. When you send the IMR appeal to Maximus, it will get upheld on the denial about 84% of the time, according to current statistics. So in other words, Maximus will make sure your ass does not get your workers' compensation, even though you were injured on the job, so they can keep those profits for themselves. Also, these same bastards are behind the corrupt child support system and making sure they get their 66% bonus from the government in the name of child support while pretending to give a damn about your child, which they do not. and they are trading your child, right, on the stock market through his or her birth certificate, and then they're selling shares of your child's what's the word, of the interest in your child, right? They have somehow turned your child into a corporation through the birth certificate without registering it or listing it publicly, right? And they're selling shares of your child overseas, yes, and in the United States. The deck is completely stacked against the injured worker. Well, we can thank Maximus that also this same deck is stacked completely against fathers. If you're a man with a child, you're automatically a criminal. Why? So these people can increase their stock price on New York Stock Exchange. Write to your legislator and your governor and demand changes to the law, as that is the only place where a change will come from to the current system. That's what needs to happen with child support. New legislation. How likely is that? Let's keep going. Daniel W. Epperly, workers' compensation lawyer in Laverne, California. I agree that workers' compensation medical treatment is bad. The adjuster is supposed to send all relevant medical records. You get the point. These lawyers are all agreeing that Maximus is a scam. So why don't they agree it's a scam when they in child support court? That's my question. Why don't they agree that Maximus is a scam in child support court? See, look here. Another workers' compensation lawyer, Craig Stephen Wasserman. Yes, it is outrageous what federal Maximus is doing to injured workers and upholding most of the denials of treatment. See, they don't want to treat your ass because if they keep that money for your treatment, they can make a profit. But they do want to collect child support because they make a profit from the federal government for every dollar that the father has to pay the mother. The father pays the mother $1,000, they can get like $660 bonus from your tax dollars. You understand? So them collecting child support is costing you tax dollars. Let's keep going. Nancy J. Wallace, another workers' compensation lawyer in Grand Terrace, California. One appellate judge at a recent convention noted that begging is a recommended strategy for getting treatment to injured workers. Wow. Begging. So you know there is a lot of evidence Maximus does virtually nothing except deny people treatment. So I wonder if this same woman, well, she's a workers' compensation lawyer, so obviously she might not be dealing with child support. But you know where I'm going. I wish they would come to the child support court and say that when people get their ass handed to them in court, right? Get treated like shit, like less than human beings. Let's keep going. Goes on and on. Brett A. Borrell, another workers' compensation lawyer in Cupertino, California. You'll get no arguments from any of the lawyers here. You see this on one case. We see it on hundreds. The pendulum has swung way over to favor the insurance companies on this issue. The only real resolution is to let your state legislatures know how bad it is. So that's the last one anyway. So I went through all of that because these people, though this is about workers' compensation and insurance, is talking about Maximus, right? And so this same damn Maximus deals with child support. One moment. Okay, so I have zoomed in on this Shelby County juvenile court clerk, or this court website for Shelby County, Tennessee. They got a message from the clerk here, but I'm going to just show you something about Maximus. All right, let's get on down. And they are in other states as well, but this is like one of the first ones that popped up. 2009. Yeah, we'll start here. In 2009, the Child Support Services Division at Juvenile Court was not awarded the state contract for the first time since 1976. So it looked like from 1976 to 2009, the Child Support Services Division at their juvenile court used to handle child support. But it says here, the state contract for child support services for Shelby County went to Maximus. Do you see that? A private agency. So we're not making this stuff up. This is a private agency, but yet they are publicly traded for profit on the New York Stock Exchange. And they treat people like shit when they're trying to get money for their workers' compensation claims due to injuries, right? So you can imagine how they treat you even worse in child support court. If Maximus won't pay you when you're injured on the job for workers' compensation, you know they're not going to treat a father fairly in child support court. So this is the main reason. You got big-time multi-billion-dollar players internationally like these bastards here who are profiting from your broken family. So that's why you women need to close your damn legs, okay? Stop blaming it all on the men, because when you find out what child support really is, you're going to wish your ass wasn't in it either, especially if it backfires and they put your ass on child support. Sometimes the man wins custody. It's rare, but it sometimes happens. And when you have to pay his ass and they treat you like shit, then you're going to wish you had listened. So, unlike in previous years, the 4D, that means the Social Security, right? Social Security Act. The 4D Child Support Agency is no longer located in the juvenile court building, but at an off-site location. So I'm showing you this so that you can see that not only is the government itself a corporation, but they are literally handing these so-called government processes to private contractors and private companies whose goal is to make money, not to help you or your damn child or your workers' compensation claim if you need one. This transition in child support services has impacted the clerk's office operation in all areas, from processing petitions filed for establishment, enforcement, genetic testing, and all other related child support issues, as well as clerk services. Reimbursement from the state. Reimbursement from the state is that bonus they get. You pay $1,000 to the mother, they get $666. You understand? Or 660, excuse me. You get the point. Whatever amount they get, which I think that's the amount, they're getting paid off of you suffering. Legalized prostitution and slavery. The clerk's office staff continues to work closely with Maximus to help meet and process the workload efficiently through this transition period. Well, I'm reading this in 2021. This is May the 12th, 2021. That's a long ass transition period. This happened in 2009. How long are you going to be transitioned? You understand? That's like 12 years. So what the hell? But anyway, you get the point. One moment. Okay, so yeah, you get the point. That's a long transition period, 12 damn years, and they haven't updated this page. The juvenile court clerk's office and staff will continue to serve you to the best of our ability. Oh yeah, I'm sure they're going to serve you. They're going to serve your ass with plenty of paperwork to get as much money out of you as they can so that they don't have to get a real job, so that they can get your money to take care of their children and send them to college. All right. Effective leadership and integrity will be held accountable in all areas. Yeah. I bet you wish that was true. So now that we know Maximus Incorporated, whose website is maximus.com, is a for-profit private agency, private corporation that is publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange with ticker symbol MMS, that is selling right now for $88 per share as of May 12th, 11:59 a.m. EDT time zone, right? I'm bringing all that out to show you they watching this stuff right now. Here's the next question. Who are they loyal to? Do they work for the best interests of children and for the best interests of workers who need workers' compensation? Well, we saw what the lawyers said about the workers' compensation. They don't give a damn if you get hurt on your job. Now let's see if they care about parents. One moment. Now, we're looking at an excerpt from Investopedia.com from June 14th, 2020. It says, who is responsible for shareholders' interest? So in other words, shareholders have interest in a company because they have bought stock or bonds. They have invested in the company. So let's look here. What are the interests of shareholders in a business? Shareholders also play direct and indirect roles in the operations of a company, possessing voting rights on significant corporate decisions, such as electing the directors who will then appoint and manage the senior officers of the business, such as CEO, which is Chief Executive Officer, and CFO, Chief Financial Officer. Now watch this. From Investopedia, shareholders' interests are protected by several parties both within and outside the corporation. So the corporation, a publicly traded corporation, has to protect the interest of shareholders. Remember that word interest, right? All publicly traded companies in the United States must have a board, right? Matter of fact, let's click on here. And hold on, they got advertisements popping up. I'm gonna try to get rid of some of that. Zoom in, make it a little easier for you to read, hopefully. Maybe not. This thing gets narrower. Okay, there we go. Okay, it says here the average, and bear with me, I'm gonna do a little reading here. The average shareholder who is typically not involved in the day-to-day operations of the company relies on several parties to protect and further his or her interests. So let's say you own some shares of Facebook, right? Or you own some shares of Amazon, whatever. It is highly unlikely that you're going to have any control over the decisions they make, right, at Amazon or Facebook, especially if you only own like 100 shares or something, right, or 200-300 shares. But somebody still has to protect your money that you have invested. Your money that you have invested, that's your interest in the corporation, right, in any corporation. So the people that's going to protect you is right here. These parties include the company's employees, executives, and board of directors. However, each one of these parties has its own interest, right? Because they want to get paid, which may conflict with those of the shareholder. Key takeaways. This is from Investopedia.com. Shareholders' interests are protected by several parties, both within and outside the corporation. Maximus Incorporated is a publicly traded corporation with a board of directors, CEO, CFO, all of that. So, do they work for the best interests of children or do they work for the best interest of shareholders? Because by law, shareholders' interests must be protected. You understand? The Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, who regulates the New York Stock Exchange and other exchanges like it, requires the board of directors who have a duty, right, to protect the shareholders' interests. Let's keep going. The board of directors is elected by the shareholders to govern the management team and to make corporate decisions on their behalf. Let me read that again. The board of directors, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in the name Maximus Incorporated, or I'm going to just say child support so you can understand. The board of directors for the Child Support Corporation, in this case Maximus, is elected by the shareholders, the people that bought stock, to govern the management team of the Child Support Corporation and to make corporate decisions on their behalf. Who is this there? There is possessive. Their behalf mean on the shareholders' behalf. They don't give a damn about you or your children or your workers' compensation claim. Therefore, this is more proof that it is legalized prostitution and slavery, because you fathers are being forced to become obligors and non-custodial parents. You're being forced to part with your income so that you can increase the price of Maximus on that ticker symbol or whatever company you may be paying. And if you're paying your government directly and then they have not given it to a private company like this, your government is also a for-profit corporation, right? We can prove that as well. The board is directly responsible for protecting and managing shareholders' interest in the company. What board? The board of directors for that corporation. The board of directors is directly responsible for protecting and managing children's interest, parents' interest, community interest? No, shareholders' interest in the company, right? Proper compensation packages for employees and board members can help align their interests with the company's shareholders. So it's crystal clear. This is how all companies work. So from the point of a business, it makes sense for the business to protect their profits. I don't have a problem with businesses trying to make money. But what I do have a problem with is businesses that force fathers into slavery and help the mother take the child away as many days out of the year as possible so that she can falsely label him as a deadbeat and get as much money out of him so that they can guarantee income for Maximus Incorporated and any other for-profit company, whether it's a government or a private agency or both. This is what the hell is happening. One moment. So to make it plain to you, you see how this ticker symbol amount has just changed from $88.10, now it's $88.03. They watching every penny, every nickel and dime, every second of every day. So let me make it plain. When one of you fathers makes a child support payment on time, this ticker symbol may go up 1 penny. When they can get a new father to sign that court summons and show up in court, that bond that they traded, because you know, people who get out of jail, they're on bond. Well, they're trading stocks and bonds on you on the paperwork that you sign without your knowledge. So this ticker symbol goes up. The more of you fathers they can make slaves out of in child support court that are with this company, and the more workers' compensation claims they can deny, even though a person really did get hurt and deserves to get paid. Oh yeah. I'm making it plain who these bastards are and what they're really doing. So my next question to you is, should you put up with this or should you do something about it? So for those people who like to ask me 50,000 questions and think I'm supposed to talk to you on the phone for an hour and a half, right? Or answer 30, 40 emails because you're afraid you're going to give me a few dollars. Keep paying these bastards or whoever you paying, right? It don't matter to me because I'm going to get my money one way or the other. You understand? And I'm saying money with quotation marks around it because money is an idea, all right? I know what money is and what it isn't, all right? And I damn sure know what it is not, right? I'm not going to pretend that there's nothing I can learn about money because anybody who thinks they know so much they can't learn, they a fool already, right? But I basically know what money is and what money is not, especially. So you can't give me any money anyway, right? So you either fight this yourself or get some help from childsupportgreed.com. And you will make a donation, right? And if I decide to put some documents on here, you can make a donation and receive those for perhaps a lower donation amount. But my time will be appreciated, just as you want yours to be, all right? If you don't want to do that, then look at this video and gather the evidence from this and put it in your own affidavit, right? Because I'm showing you the game right here. All of these bastards is for profit, whether they use a private agency or not. Your government is for profit, all right? Guaranteed. Whatever state you live in, it's a for-profit corporation. So it is what it is. I'm going to think, is there anything else I want to show in this part of the video? So this will be part 1 of child support is legalized, prostitution, and slavery. Yeah, I think it's one more thing I want to show. One moment. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you some female birth control options, and then I'm going to show you some stats about abortion in the United States, and then I will close out this video, because here's going to be some more proof that the child support system in its current status is legalized prostitution. These women have every option to prevent pregnancy, right? Besides abstinence. So they can actually be whores and still not get pregnant. So if she gets pregnant, it's because she was lazy or didn't care or wanted to get pregnant, unless she got raped. You understand? Or unless the birth control pills and stuff fail, which it hardly ever does if you take it every day. So let's get it. Let's look at some of these birth control options that they have. So it says, which type is best for you? This is slide 1 out of 23. So that's a lot of slides. Let's go. Spermicide. I'm not going to read all of this. I'm just flipping through it. Phexxi, a new hormonal birth control gel. Dang, they got ads popping up everywhere. Hold on. Next, male condom. Next, female condom. Next, diaphragm. This is a rubber dome that women place over their cervix before sex. Next, cervical cap. That's another device. Next, birth control sponge. Next, birth control pill. And there's many different pills. Next, birth control patch. Next, vaginal ring. Next, birth control shot. It's called Depo-Provera, and it's a hormonal shot that protects against pregnancy for 3 months. All right? It works better than the birth control pill. Only 3% of users get pregnant in a year. So there you go. That cut down on 97% of these so-called unwanted pregnancies. Because I say you did want it because you're trying to get child support. Birth control implant. IUD, which means intrauterine device. Tubal ligation, getting your tubes tied, right? And your tubes can be untied also. So this is not permanent. This is something that can be safely undone. So if you get your tubes tied today and you want to have a baby 2 or 3 years from now, you can get them untied and then you can still have a baby. Vasectomy, right? Notice this is cut, right? Watch this. Other than condoms, I want you to pay attention to this. Other than condoms, a vasectomy is the only birth control option for men. But yet you want to blame men when these whores get pregnant. You got 23 damn slides up here. I know the first slide was just the intro, but you got 22 or 23 damn slides up here, but only 2 of them is options that men have control over. So the other 20 or 21 are things that women can do with or without the man's help. And yet they still getting pregnant and talking about they're a damn single mother. You got to be kidding me. A doctor surgically closes the vas deferens, the tube that carries sperm from a testicle. This prevents the release of sperm, but doesn't affect ejaculation. Pros: permanent, cheaper than tubal ligation, almost 100% effective. Cons: requires surgery, not effective immediately, and may not be reversible. Doesn't prevent STDs. So for you dumbasses that wonder why men who don't want children right now don't get a vasectomy, because he may want a child later. You get a vasectomy at age 20 or 21, your ass might not ever be able to have a child. It might not be reversible. But women can get their tubes tied and untied with no damn problem. Women can get a birth control pill or a birth control shot or a patch or an intrauterine device. The list goes on and on and on for your asses. So you have it way easier. So I don't want to hear shit about you being a single mother when your ass had all of these options and you use none. But the man got to be damn near perfect. A condom or a vasectomy, which might alter his ability to have children permanently for the rest of his damn life. But you know what? The system is so wicked, some of you men might not care. You might be willing to have a vasectomy and just say, to hell with it. I just won't have any children. But you will be free from the child support system. So, hey, this is an option. And of course, the condom, which is not as effective as birth control pills, vasectomy, and everything else, it works like 85% of the time if you do it right. Let's keep going. Emergency contraception. Now, this is really something. This method works after sex to help avoid pregnancy. This is an option if you didn't use contraception or if a woman suspects their usual method failed. There are lots of types to choose from, including brand name pills or generic versions. You can get some of them over the counter. So meaning if you got a pill or a condom or something that you use and you after sex you feel like it didn't work, you can take this shit here. So there's absolutely no excuse for you to be having these so-called unwanted pregnancies. Let's keep going. Options for older women. Okay, there's some more stuff there. Let's keep going. Withdrawal. This is the one that works the least. Pulling out is the age-old method that relies on the man withdrawing their penis from the vagina before ejaculation. If it's done correctly every time, in other words, you got to be perfect. About 4% of users get pregnant in a year. But with more typical use, about 18% get pregnant. I wouldn't trust this method, fellas. You withdraw, just know she's very likely to get pregnant. That's why they showing this water hose dripping a little water here. That's funny as hell. They showing a water hose dripping a little water on the concrete. That little drip is all it takes for her to get pregnant. So, cons. May be hard to do correctly. No protection against STDs. Let's keep going. Ovulation predictor kits. It's timing when you think you can get pregnant. And the odds are high that you still will, so I wouldn't recommend that either. Least effective method. So, anyway, you get the point. You get the point. There's a lot of stuff going on. But implant, IUD, vasectomy, and tubal methods, 99% effective. Birth control shot, 97% effective. Birth control pill and vaginal ring, 92 to 95%. Condom, diaphragm, cervical cap, and sponge, 84 to 89%. So the methods that the man can control is the least effective. And the one that is effective, the vasectomy that he can control, is damn near permanent. So if you get a vasectomy, fellas, make sure you don't ever want a child because you may never have one. Facts. So that's it for this segment. Okay, and finally, we are here at the CDC website, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or cdc.gov. All right. The CDC's abortion surveillance system FAQs. When did CDC abortion surveillance start? It began in 1969 to document the number and characteristics of women obtaining legal induced abortions. I'm showing you that part because there is no law where a man can force a woman to have an abortion. So every legal abortion that a woman or girl has had to be her choice. Meaning you cannot go in and say, hey, have an abortion. No, she has to choose that voluntarily. So I don't want to hear any BS about it being the man's fault for what these women did when you're the one with all the rights and the birth control. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's get straight to it. I'm going to zoom in here. Abortion surveillance in 2018. So although this is the year 2021, we'll just look at 2018 right here. Matter of fact, I'm going to let this machine do a little reading here. Okay, or maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, I'll just read it myself. In 2018, excuse me, 619,591 legal induced abortions were reported to CDC from 49 reporting areas. Among 48 reporting areas with data each year during 2009 to 2018. In 2018, a total of 614,820 abortions were reported. The abortion rate was 11.3 abortions per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44 years. And the abortion rate was 189 abortions per 1,000 live births. So let me pause here for a moment. So these women that had these abortions, are they labeled as deadbeats? No. Are they put in jail or prison? No. Are they forced to pay any sort of money beyond what it costs to get the abortion? No. Are they put on any sort of registry and shamed and told that if you get pregnant again, you got to have the child or you can't get child support because it's your fault for doing this over and over? No. But all the shit you do to men, look how many of you whores kill children that you don't want to be parents to, and they treat you like you God Almighty as if you've done nothing wrong. So since you want to judge men for not wanting to pay your ass a certain amount a month and be treated like criminals, I'm going to show the hypocrisy of you whores killing children and walking around here with your head held high as if you are a responsible person. Don't even mention adoption. Some of you don't kill the child. You put it up for adoption and you still walk free. You want to call a man a goddamn deadbeat. You got to be fucking kidding me. You're the biggest hypocrites on earth. Let's keep going. From 2009 to 2018. Yeah, I'm talking to you legal prostitutes who using sex as a weapon to get money from men for some goddamn child support that you don't deserve. You damn right. Now, what you should do is let that man be a father to that child directly and take care of it privately and in person. You understand? Like a human being. Instead of turning it into a goddamn financial plan because you're too fucking stupid or broke to take your ass to school and learn something. Get your own damn money. Or better yet, be a decent woman and a man will want to marry your ass and perhaps have a family. Instead of you trying to be a whore and kill the children until you can find a sucker to get you pregnant, and then you won't have the abortion because this fool has enough money for you to extort from him. You damn right. So you legal prostitutes, I don't have any compassion for you any more than you have for these men that you try to get locked up and treat like shit. So there you go. Fuck you too. Let's go. From 2009 to 2018, the number, rate, and ratio of reported abortions decreased 22%, 24%, and 16%, respectively. Disclaimer. If you got raped, I'm not talking to you. I do not expect a woman who got raped to want to keep that child. If she does, she's an extraordinary person. And I believe people who rape women, they ass should be actually put to death. But since we're not living in those times anymore, they just put your ass in jail. Nonetheless, let's keep going. In 2017, the total number, rate, and ratio of reported abortions decreased to historic lows for the period of analysis for all three measures. So anyway, let's go to they're getting very technical here. So I think you're already seeing the point. Basically, 619,000, 614,000, whatever. You got over 600,000 abortions in 2018 in the United States. So those women are not labeled as deadbeats. So then men should not be labeled as a goddamn deadbeat because he doesn't like the extortion you're doing to him in court so that you and Maximus can get rich while he remains poor. That's what I'm saying. One moment. Now I'm going to show you this one more abortion table here. This is coming from mdch.state.mi.us. All of this stuff up here. All right. Number, ratio, and rate of reported induced abortions, United States, 1980 to 2017. So that's 37 years, right? In the year 1980, we're going to just go with the CDC abortion rates, which are slightly less than what they're reporting over here. You understand? So we're going to go with the lesser of the number. In 1980, in the United States, 1,297,606. 1985, 1,328,570. 1990, 1,429,247. These are all by the woman's choice because, again, there is no law where a man can force a woman to have an abortion. She has to make the decision whether the doctor or the clinician does it or not. 1991, 1,388,000 something. I'm just going to rush to it. 1992, 1,359,146. 1993, 1,330,414. 1994, 1,267,415. 1995, 1,210,883. 1996, 1,225,937. 1997, 1,186,039. 1998, 884,273. 1999, 861,789. And I'm going to skip all these years because it gets redundant. 2016, 623,471. So it does seem to be going on a downward trend. So that's something that's positive, right? But understand that when you have to trend down to get to 600-some thousand abortions per year, that women are choosing to do because they're not ready to be a mother yet, even though they laid down and had sex or bent over and got pregnant, making it plain, right? How dare you call men deadbeats when you are enriching yourself and getting government assistance, food stamps, WIC vouchers, Section 8, child support, and every other fucking thing you can. Got the audacity to call a man a deadbeat when you ain't nothing but a legalized, government-subsidized prostitute. That's what you are. Now, if you're a decent woman who did not get pregnant on purpose, then I feel sorry for you that you feel you need child support and government assistance, because a decent woman should have been a man's wife before she got pregnant. So unless you got raped, I don't know how a decent woman got pregnant by a man who didn't want to marry her. So you need to think about that. How does a decent woman get pregnant by a man that did not want to marry her? Let me ask it another way. How does a bird lay eggs for a bird that doesn't have a nest? Right? You need to start making sure the man wants to marry you before you get pregnant. Point blank, period. So, with that said, I believe I'm going to close this video out. This is part 1 of the child support system is legalized prostitution and slavery. So with that, I say have a good day. And if you need some help, you go to childsupportgreed.com and donate. Or you send a message to support@childsupportgreed.com.